Okay, so 2, 4 is adding, subtracting unlike fractions, which I said we've been doing the lowest common denominator. So we're going to look at another method today. If you like it, you can use it. If you don't like it, then use the old school way. Okay, so we're going to have the old school way, which is common denominator, or the butterfly method, which I'm going to call the hipster method today. Okay, so if you want to be hipster, you can use the new way. If you want to be an old man, use the old school way. Okay? But first of all, everybody already knows 1/2 plus 1/4, right?
Yeah.
3/4. But let's look at this butterfly method to see, okay? Some of you saw this in like 4th grade. Basically what you do is you circle, kind of like you're cross multiplying, right? Circle that one and circle that one. Okay, so it's sort of making like some sort of butterfly shape. Okay, and then the bottom numbers you just multiply straight across. So that's just 2 times 4, so that's 8. And then the top numbers, what you have circled, you multiply together. So like 4 times 1 is 4, so I'm just going to put a 4 up there. And then 2 times 1 is 2, so I'll put a 2 up there. And then because there's a plus sign there, I add them. So what's 4 plus 2? 6. So 6 over 8, when we simplify it, we divide by 2, we get 3 over 4, which is what we should have got if we did the longer way, which is that. You don't have to write the longer way down if you know the longer way. But if you still struggle with adding these fractions, you could write it down. 2 methods. The butterfly, papillon, or hipster method. The old man method. Or old lady. Old school. Raise your hand if you kind of like this butterfly thing. It's kind of neat. It's kind of cool. Raise your hand if you're like, I don't get that, so I'm going to go the old school way and get it right every time. Anybody in that category? That's okay. Last class, a lot of people did not like the new method, but let's try it again. So example 2, we have this problem, 9/10 plus a negative 1/2. And I already know my LCD is 10, right? 2 goes into 10. But if we want to try the butterfly method, we should get, I worked it all out, we should get 2/5, okay? So if you want to be writing down the long method, that's fine. Otherwise, you can watch me use the butterfly method. So I'm going to circle these numbers. You gotta see if this works for negatives, right? 10 times 2 is 20. So I'm going to write that right here, 20. And then 2 times 9 is 18. 10 times negative 1, don't forget the negative. 10 times negative 1 is negative 10. 18 plus a negative 10 would be 8. And when you simplify, divide by 2. Actually, divide by 4, right? We get 2/5. Divide 8 by 4, you get 2. Divide 20 by 4, you get 5. And so it works. Or you can use the old school method. Yeah?
Would it be negative 2/5 or just regular?
It'd be positive 2/5. Because if you look at the old school method, it's still 9 minus 5, which is 4. But I know you're inclined to think, oh, there's a negative, it must be negative, but it's not. Example 3. Should we carry on with this beautiful butterfly?
Yeah.
No. Okay, well, negative 1/3 and negative 1/4. Now I have 2 negatives, and a lot of people don't like dealing with negatives so much, but we know the LCD is 12, right? We know that. So I'm going to circle my numbers. They go together here. Kind of an ugly butterfly, that's okay. And on the bottom, I know I'm going to have 12, right? Now I have 4 times negative 1, so that's negative 4. Then I have 3 times negative 1, so that's negative 3. And a lot of times it helps if you have negatives to use parentheses, right? We've heard your teachers say that about, I don't know, a million times. Then we add them. So what's negative 4 plus negative 3, class?
Negative 7.
Good. Can I simplify this?
No.
And look at that, the long way produced the same result. Both ways work. Let's try one more just to prove it works. Example 4. Negative 2/3 minus 1/2. Negative 2/3 minus 1/2. Let's just include that negative into the 1. It makes it easier when we're circling. Okay? And then it's negative 2 and 2. So LCD 6, we got that. 2 times negative 2 is what? Positive times a negative is a negative. I'll use parentheses again. 3 times negative 1 is what? Okay? So we could just put minus 3 there because that's what we're doing. If you find this hard to do, then you can add them again. So what's negative 4 and negative 3? Negative 7, which is the same as negative 1 and 1/6, right? And look at that, it worked. Fascinating. Raise your hand if you like this new method. Do you like this? Maybe it's not new to you, but you like it better. Raise your hand if you still like the old way. You're old school. That's okay. Either one works, right? Either one works. We're going to do some practice. It's only 10 problems. 10 problems, and it starts on 294 and then 295. If you finish that, feel free to do the homework. I don't think that you'll get through that in time, though. These do take some time. Raise your hands if you get questions. Help each other out. It's all your information for you. So 294, 1, 2, 5, and 7. 295, 2, 4, 6, 7, 10, 12. We're going to go over every single one of these to make sure you're doing them right. And then the homework is there too.